Immanuel Quickley sat out the final two preseason games, but why did he sit out those final two preseason games? Did it have something to do with an impending contract extension? That is what we have to talk about today on Knicks Digest, so welcome back, guys. My name is Chris, and we're going to jump right into it, as we always do. So, why was Immanuel Quickley not playing in these final two preseason games? Now, if you ask Tom Thibodeau, the reason of this is because he was apparently nicked up. And there's a very good chance that that is what actually happened. Basketball is a contact sport, and Immanuel Quickley is one of the best players in the NBA at drawing contact. He loves to get to the line. He's an electric free throw shooter, and he gets to the line very well. He's also one of the smaller guys in the NBA, so taking those bumps, it's going to lead to some soreness, and it's probably best to maybe sit a guy in preseason when the games don't count. That's a very reasonable option. But there is also the chance that the New York Knicks are waiting to extend him, and maybe that's why he was sitting out those games. Because that does happen where you'll sit a player out because you're about to extend him or you're about to trade him. The Knicks are not about to trade Immanuel Quickley, so that leaves one option. It means that it would be time to extend the man who almost won Sixth Man of the Year last year and might be the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year this year, if you ask me. So, really, why would they sit Immanuel Quickley out if it was not for a contract extension reason? I don't think there is one, unless he really was hurt, and that is a possibility. That is what Tom Thibodeau had to say. But here it says, Immanuel Quickley participated fully in practice today. Tom Thibodeau said, Quickley missed the Knicks' final preseason game because he was nicked up, Tom Thibodeau said Wednesday. Deadline for Quickley to get an extension done with the Knicks is October 23rd. So the Knicks do not have much time to extend their star sixth man, a guy who was tremendous, who averaged 22, 5, and 5 when he started in those 20-some-odd games that he started last year. He was tremendous off the bench. Let's take a look at Immanuel Quickley's stats. Is one of the reasons why the Knicks really should re-sign this guy, because it is a must. He averaged 15 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot 37% from 3 and 45% from the field. These are tremendous numbers. He also got a steal per game and is arguably the Knicks' best perimeter defender. The man just is tremendous at perimeter defense. Fred Katz wrote a tremendous article a few months back during last season, that was basically talking about how Quickley knows what's going to happen before it actually happens, which is just one of those things that you have to be an elite defender with elite basketball IQ to do. He is so valuable to this Knicks team. He is the perfect sixth man for this Knicks team because he's a combo guard. He can play next to Jalen Brunson, as we saw in some closeout lineups in the playoffs when the Knicks would run Brunson, Quickley, Hart, Randall, and Hartenstein. Or Mitchell Robinson sometimes instead of Isaiah Hartenstein. That one was kind of flipped. But they used that lineup a good amount of times. And also Quickley can run the point. The man is a true combo guard who could play either position. I think he's better as a point guard, but he can do both. He's so important to this team. I don't see why they wouldn't re-sign him. I understand the second apron is a thing, and it could get sort of hectic, but the Knicks have to figure out a way to sign Immanuel Quickley to an extension. It's not like he's going to be getting a max extension. There was reports a few weeks back that was basically saying Quickley wants near $100 million, while the Knicks are trying to offer him around $80 million. So it'll be somewhere in that $90 million range, probably a little closer to 100. I think the Knicks would budge more than they would not because of how important Quickley is, and they know that. And Leon Rose and William Wesley love him. They drafted him because William Wesley is Leon Rose's guy, and Wes was so high on Immanuel Quickley. And he has been everything that the Knicks could have hoped for with 21st overall pick. He has been tremendous for them, and I do think that it's very important that they re-sign Immanuel Quickley. Now let's take a look here what Tom Thibodeau had to say when he decided to start most of the starting five in the second leg of the back-to-back, because obviously they didn't play all their guys in the first back-to-back. So Immanuel Quickley didn't play because he's currently a backup for the New York Knicks roster. Only, IQ didn't log a single minute for the second time in as many games, and was scratched from the game squad yesterday, according to Tibbs, because he was nicked up just a little bit. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 2 months, or 2 years for that matter, you would know that Quickley and the Knicks have a decision to make before October 23rd, on the last day that he could sign an extension to stay with the organization before becoming a restricted free agent this summer. Thank you to the Strickland for writing that. That is where I got that. Make sure to check them out. And this is absolutely true. Obviously, the Knicks need to extend Quickley. Obviously, it's coming up to the point where it's basically now or never. Like, we're really right around the corner from October 23rd. They're obviously in talks, and we're going to see what happens, because it is dangerous to let a guy go into restricted free agency. Teams can give you those weird Tyler Johnson contracts where you're paying him $5 million over the course of the first 2 years, then it balloons up to like $40 million the next two over the next 2 years, just to mess with cap space with other teams and to give incentive to let the guy go. Maybe a team's just going to throw $130 million or something at Immanuel Quickley. He's obviously going to take that offer sheet. He should. It would be the right move. And maybe the Knicks can't re-sign that, or they just don't want to match it. And then there goes Immanuel Quickley for nothing. The Knicks should keep him. I do not see a reason why they should not keep him. There does not seem to be a logical answer on why the New York Knicks should not re-sign Immanuel Quickley. Not one that I have found. It is surprising that it has gotten this far. And we saw this with Josh Hart. We saw him not get the instant extension after he opted in. He said he was going to opt out, and then he opted in to help the Knicks out a little bit. And then the Knicks gave him his extension. But it did take a while. But now we're at the point where we have a few days for Immanuel Quickley to sign this extension, or things get bad. And we don't know what the Knicks are offering. We don't know where these two sides are at. We don't know how close they are. If this happens, we will instantly drop a video on it, talking about all of it, whatever the value of the contract is, how many years. But it'll most likely be a 4-year deal. That's what makes the most sense. The NBA is coming more like the NFL with contracts, so it'll mostly be a long-term contract. It's hard to imagine they'd give him like a 2-year extension. That doesn't make too much sense for either side. So it would be somewhere around a 4-year extension. And really what it comes down to is, are you hoping to use Immanuel Quickley as a trade chip? Because if you are, you're going to have to re-sign him. And even if you just want to keep him, you're still going to want to re-sign him. There is not a reason to not re-sign him before this deadline. Nothing makes sense. He is the perfect bench player. He might be the best sixth man in the NBA. He's definitely going to be my pick to win Sixth Man of the Year. And sure, I'm a little biased because not only does he play for the New York Knicks, but I also do play NBA 2K with him sometimes. So I am a huge supporter of IQ. But seriously, it does not make sense to not re-sign Immanuel Quickley to the New York Knicks. I cannot stress that enough. And who knows if the Knicks were just not playing him because they're in contract extension talks or because he was injured. The truth to that is never going to come out. The only way that we'll ever know is if he signs an extension, because then we could just assume it was the latter. But who knows? Maybe he was just a little banged up and we're overthinking this. But I really don't think so, guys. I think that they are hammering out an extension, and in the next 48 hours from now, it is around 4 p.m. on October 20th when I'm filming this. This will come out at some point on October 21st, which is tomorrow for me. It'll obviously be today for you guys when you're watching this. You guys know how time works. I don't have to explain that. But really, the Knicks will have, by the time this video comes out, they'll have 48 hours to extend him. I'm sort of setting the 48-hour timer from when I'm making this video, because I don't know when on October 23rd is the deadline. I don't know if it's a specific time. Like, the trade deadline is usually 3 p.m., I believe. I don't know if it's a time slot. I don't know what it is. But the Knicks have to get this done by October 22nd, the latest, is what it sounds like. Because maybe once the clock strikes midnight on October 23rd, it's done. It's over. Because the NBA season has officially begun. The new year is hit. Okay, guys. So that is all that we have on the Immanuel Quickley topic. It has been a long day for me. I'm sorry if I seem a little monotone. But, guys, this is a very important video. Immanuel Quickley is someone who I sort of consider a friend of mine. So it is sort of a weird topic to talk about. But make sure to like and subscribe to this video. Or we'll subscribe to the channel. You can't subscribe to videos. Or I would tell you guys to do that also. But make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. We are going up from here, multiple videos a day, because the NBA season has essentially begun, and we are in full swing. Knicks Digest to the moon, baby. So have a great day, and remember, go Knicks!